We've noticed a change in this, haven't we?
What's important, I think, for us to really look at is consumer behavior.
That's how we react as humans. We want it fast, we want it now.
And if you're still using the same marketing tactics, the same messaging, the same approach to that consumer from 10 years ago, you're missing out.
The consumer out there is thinking, there might be a better alternative.
We've found the institutions, we've brought them together in one place. And all of a sudden, you're instantly going in with 6, 7 offers, telling the person who wants to sell their house that I have 6, 7 offers right now. Hey, howdy, hey, we are back. The Real Estate Consumer Shift. I am Jason Wells with my good buddy,
Tim Evans.
Hey.
Well, Wellsy, what's going on?
Hey,
what's going on today, man? What are we talking about?
I think it's good that we talk about competition.
Competition.
What do you think about competition?
Hey, but you and I got a little bet because this year, your Cougars, BYU Cougars, are in the Big 12.
Yes, they are.
My Sun Devils are joining.
You're coming to the party.
Welcome.
Right. Welcome. As
football
us
season
BYU
is
folks,
coming.
We needed some of those party people from ASU to come about.
We are. And I was looking at the schedule. I don't think we have you this year, but we have you the following year at. No, I take that back. We do have you this year at home. Mm-hmm. We have the Cougars at home. I was mentioning that.
We're coming to Tempe.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you remember back in the day when BYU was, this is many years ago, when they were in the WAC.
In the WAC.
Before the Sun Devils were in the Pac-10.
10 at the time. Yes.
And WAC, and that was always a fun game with BYU and ASU.
Super wild in the WAC. That was like, the WAC was a wild time. You had a lot of air raiding going on, and it was an interesting. Talk about a conference that had parity.
Yes,
man.
And a lot has changed since then. But I can't wait for college football. Big college football fan. I don't know. It's always fun and exciting. The players they run on and off the field. Unlike the NFL, there's just a lot of excitement. So
there's just that different vibe that you get with college football as opposed to the NFL. And I like the NFL, right? Yep. Don't get me wrong, I love the NFL, but yeah, I love the pageantry of college football.
It is a blast. So, anyways. Looking forward to that. So when that game happens, yeah, you're not going to be there. We're going to be sitting right next to each other.
Amen. I'm be decked out in blue.
There might be a bet or two on that one as well. Let's talk about sellers and
a different kind of competition.
Yeah, different kind of competition, not on the football field. Yeah, but as an agent, are agents competing with agents, or what are they competing with out there, or who is their competition when they're sitting in front of a seller? And that's a really good question. And I answered that wrong the other day because I was thinking about it. But after going on some of the appointments and actually hearing what the sellers were saying, it hit me like somebody took a red brick and just whacked me right beside, and knocked some sense in me, which is easy to do. But anyways, it just hit me. And here's the question. It was buyers. That's who we compete with as agents. And that's what the sellers are looking for.
And I'm willing to bet everybody out there listening to it thinks, well, of course, I'm competing against the next agent that's coming in, or I'm competing against the agent they're going to look up on the MLS or on Zillow or wherever, that you think your competition is another agent.
And they're interviewing agents, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where I thought, okay, I'm competing against X and competing against Y and competing against Z because they're coming in after me and that. But really, when I started thinking about what the seller was after, and you put yourself in their shoes, and what they talked about, and that's what this whole podcast has really enlightened me, and it got me thinking differently.
Think like the consumer.
Think like the consumer. It was not the agent.
Yeah, they're not looking for the agent.
No,
the agent is a means to get what they're actually after, which is.
Buyers,
what you said. That's
and then
ultimately what they want.
An offer they would accept. Right. I can even say it even goes a little deeper than a buyer. It goes to an offer that they can put their hands on, feel, touch, see the terms, condition, and possibly counter or accept.
Yes.
Think about that.
That is ultimately what they're on. They're after.
Yeah. So there's a lot.
They want to sell their house, not list it. You said that before.
100%. They want to sell their home and not list it. And when we can talk to the consumer, and this is the time. It's shifting this way quickly. It used to be they'd used to call up a real estate agent. It's not that way anymore. They're calling cash offer company. You go to Google. We've talked about that before.
And that's the interesting thing. If you go to Google and you're looking to sell your house or even get a home valuation, Google is delivering in the organic search all kinds of different cash offer companies in your neighborhoods. Wherever you're at, just give that a try. You're going to see it delivers all cash offers, home value, sell my house. You're not saying anything about cash, but that's what it's delivering up in the organic search. And the organic search is based entirely, the algorithm, on the behavior of those who are looking for those keywords. And so the behavior of those looking for those keywords, the value of my house, sell my house, is that they're looking for these offers.
Absolutely. And that was something when I was sitting with the seller the other day, they said, yes, I have called some real estate agents and I've also got an offer from XYZ. You know, I have offers from this company, for offers from this company. And I'm like, it hit me. It's buyers, it's sellers, it's offers that they're looking for. So are you positioned? The question is, are you positioning yourself as a real estate agent to bring offers into your deliverables and into your presentation?
Entirely, because ultimately if that's what they want, that's what they're waiting to hear, right? How many of you out there really are, when you go to your listing, you're like, well, what they want to hear is how I'm going to market their house. They want to hear that I'm going to do professional photography, that I'm going to do drones, that I have a video that I'm going to make. I'm going to do a walkthrough. I'm going to put it on Zillow and have it. Here's my 52-point marketing plan that I'm going to have. Well, guess what? Every agent has that.
And that's how you get shopped against.
That's exactly right.
So they can then shop against you and say, okay, well, you have 52, but Bob that was in here earlier had 54.
Right.
And then,
so what are you cheating me out of?
Yeah, exactly. Susie's got 56, you know, it's like you're cheating me somewhere.
Yep.
You cost the same and I'm getting cheated. But when you come in and you have the offer and you have the terms and conditions that could be delivered and agreed upon, does that put you in a different light?
I think what happens for the seller is the seller recognizes that you're bringing in a different value and you've changed the conversation. And that's part of what you have to do as an agent. If you want to secure more market share right now, you have to change the conversation. Don't get wrapped up into the conversation that's happening currently, that's been happening for a decade, which is about how I'm going to sell your house and how I'm the local expert and how I know all this. I'm not saying don't be that. I'm saying change the conversation at the table with the consumer. Show them that you have options like, look, I have these cash offers right now. We could run with something. I already have buyers. Oh, and these don't work for you? Well, I have your database there. Have your database sorted and tagged. And you can say, all right, you live in Gilbert. I already pulled up right here. I have actually 300 people right now in my database looking for a home in Gilbert. And no one else is having those two things, my offers and how many buyers I have. Now you've changed the conversation and nobody can compete with you because they're not talking like that.
It's the options, the choice, the selection. It drove me crazy the other day. It just reminds me of this. I don't go grocery shopping with my wife often, and I went and the other day it's just absolutely cemented why I don't go.
Like you're looking for some pain?
So I'm in the store with her, and we get to the meat section. We have a barbecue that night planned with the kids, grandkids. She's looking at the pre-made hamburger patties.
Oh yeah.
And they've got like stacks of them sitting there.
Stacked.
There's like
they got the
30 of them.
The little paper between them.
Yeah, and it has 96. She's literally she picked up and looked at probably 20 of these packs, like trying to pick out the best. And I'm like, they all look the same. It's like, we don't have to spend 10 minutes here trying to figure this out. But it was her desire. She had to feel like she was shopping and picking out the perfect pack. Like it's just hamburger. I'm like, hey, let me just grab the big, bulk hamburger, like the ones that's all blobbed out.
Right,
let me make some burgers. And she's like, no.
You're like, all of these, came from the same cow.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just wad it up and, they don't come out as pretty. You mess it up. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Mm-hmm. But anyways, it's just how it is. Do you think as sellers reacting or, going through that process, they're shopping and comparing
and everything that they're doing there, that is what's happening. So what would you recommend for an agent out there who you're going in there, and yes, you are still competing against other agents because there is another agent who's coming in. But when we talk about what you're really competing against is to get into the mind of the seller and give the seller what they're looking for, answer their pain points. What would you recommend being the approach?
I think when you come in and you're talking to a seller, you have the option of offers. That's really a big thing. And now, so the first question that comes to agents' minds is, how can we get offers? How would you position yourself like somebody that could give a pretty close to market value offer with acceptable terms? I think that's, always thought about that. Like, how could I be so different when I walk in there? They just couldn't say no.
Right.
It would be almost like and I say this in a weird way, but like if the multiple list service didn't exist, how could I give that seller what they want without running and going and putting it into a listing service of any sort, or like a Zillow or a Realtor, something like that, right? And it always comes back to getting the seller what they want. And that's the amount of money, the cash, and the certainty and convenience. And that is where I think we've come a long, long, long ways in delivering that in the platform, in what we bring to the table with the multiple offers that we bundle up and can deliver to real estate agents and the consumer, where they have a chance and opportunity to shop and compare. So that's something that just doesn't come easy, Jason.
No.
There's a lot of work put into this.
There is, to have aggregated how we've gone out and we've found all these different cash buyers to bring them into the platform at, CashOffers.Pro that we've put out. I'll tell you what it does is, in those conversations with the seller, ultimately all the other conversations are, how are you going to get me an offer? How are you going to bring me one? You're now saying, done. Here's several of them already. And if you, like I said before, if you have your database segmented the right way, and you can say, I also have all these properties, and as soon as all these buyers, like I have 253 buyers looking for a home just like yours here in Gilbert, Arizona. As soon as you sign this listing agreement, I'm going to just snap a couple of pictures if it's all right with you, and I'm going to send it out to all of them. That also is an offer. The platform that we've created is really a way to deliver offers, including your listing, your value proposition offer, to the consumer in a way that they can digest it and compare it to everything else that's out there.
Powerful. And what it does is allows the seller to breathe a little bit. It's like my wife at the hamburger section, and she's looking through this, and allows them to finally pick a package, right? And they will sift through it, man. They will sift through all these offers, right? We've watched this in real time, but they settle in on one, and you already know the price. You know what they're looking for. All those questions that you sit on a normal listing, like, I wonder what they're thinking on price. I know what I'm thinking. I have my comparables. It's like a showdown, right?
Yeah.
It's like a game of chicken. It's like, okay, who's going to show their hand first, right? But with what we've created, that just is gone.
It is.
And they get a chance to pick through and put one package over to this side or one over here, or,
and most of the time the package they pick is your ability to list the home.
I mean, she put one in the cart and took it out and yeah, exactly. So anyways, it's how it works, but that's how it works. And so they settle in, and the next thing you know, you're just simply closing on the home.
Yep.
And the reviews, that's one thing that agents, I think, can really benefit from in this program, is how many great, wonderful 5-star reviews they get, because the certainty, convenience, it's not falling through from financing. It's not falling through off of an appraisal, or, the final walkthrough that they found a scratch in the doorknob.
Right.
Like, I'm not closing till you fix the scratch in the doorknob. That always happens, right?
Something like that will always torpedo the deal, and that's where the certainty comes in. And I'll tell you that the certainty in an uncertain market, which is what we have, is the magic that a seller and a buyer are looking for. The consumer wants to have some semblance of certainty. They want to have that comfort to know that when working with you, that you not only have their best interests at heart, but that you are, in fact, going to make it easy for them, convenient for them. You're going to give them that comfort of certainty. And that will seal any value proposition that you have.
Yeah. Another good analogy, I think, I've played this out. Like, when you look at Amazon, how if you were to watch them, like, say we're watching somebody shop on Amazon, right? And they, they're putting that item in the cart as something they want, right? And that little item goes clicked right in the cart, right? You know what's going to happen next. They're going to buy it.
Yep. They're going to cash out that cart.
They're going to cash out. And maybe have 2 or 3 things in there.
If you're like my wife, she puts them in there, and then I go in to buy something. I'm like, why are all these in the cart? And I buy them all.
Yeah, I know.
Then she's like, I didn't buy them.
Yeah. I was trying to drive down Elliott and get to your house the other day, and there's like a line of Amazon trucks there dropping off things to your house. I think you own half of Amazon, right?
We have a little fort out front every day with the packages.
But that's how it works. So as an agent, wouldn't it be nice to know that that's the cart you have built for you?
Yes.
And the product's there for you? And all you need to do is just have the seller pick and then dump it in the cart.
That's it.
And that's a click of a button.
Click, sell with a click.
Yes. So this segment, this podcast was to really understand deeply that sellers are looking for buyers, and our competition as real estate agent is not against each other, but it's with the buyer, and who can grab that buyer first that will make a great offer on that home. And whoever has that buyer in that position to do that wins every time.
Every time.
Every time. Wouldn't you agree?
I absolutely agree.
Well, Jason, this was a great podcast. I'm glad we got a chance to air that out and talk a little family stuff.
It's good to compete.
Yeah, good to compete. Always good to compete. And
in fall, I feel bad for the Sun Devils.
yeah,
I'm gonna trounce by the Cougars.
we're gonna smash those kitty cats. Hey, thank you for listening to the podcast, Jason. I'll let you take us out.
All right, everybody, you can find us, The Real Estate Consumer Shift. Find us on every podcast platform that you're looking at. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit the bell, get notified every time we drop something new.
You bet. And if somebody wants to just check out our platform.
If you want to know about our platform,
yeah, have multiple cash offers at tip of your fingertip. Where do they go?
come on over to CashOffers.Pro. That's CashOffers.Pro.
Look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks,
Take care.
everybody.
See you next week.